Welcome to Newsmax Health. I'm Kathleen Walter. A new study that finds troubling levels of toxic metals in lip gloss is giving women reason to pause before puckering up. With us now is Dr. John Salerno, a board-certified family physician. Dr. Salerno has been pioneering complementary medicine for more than 20 years. He is the creator of the Silver Cloud Diet and the protege of Atkins Diet creator, Dr. Robert Atkins. And Dr. Salerno, thanks for being with us today.
Oh, thank you, Kathleen. Thanks for having me.
Well, after testing 32 different lipsticks and lip glosses, UC Berkeley School of Public Health researchers found troubling levels of lead, cadmium, chromium, aluminum, and other metals. What are some of the negative health effects that this could cause?
Yeah, that's a great question, Kathleen. You know, here in my office in New York City, we measure these levels. We generally do a heavy metal urine test. It's called a challenge test. And a lot of, particularly our women patients, come in clearly with a lot of exposure to these heavy metals, particularly lead and cadmium and arsenic. And clearly, a lot of it does come from the makeup. So we see things like women with chronic fatigue. Unfortunately, there can be issues where this can cause cancer. We see, for example, aluminum has been implicated in memory loss. We see that a lot in my office here in New York City. There's clearly many and multitude of health implications with these toxic metals.
Are these health implications alone a reason for women to stop using lipsticks and lip glosses?
Oh, absolutely. And we would advise wherever possible for women really to either try to find sources where there are toxic metal-free lipsticks and mascaras and eyeliners, etc. It's really very, very important. A lot of this clearly can get into the skin, and we can show that with blood tests and urine tests.
Do you believe that high levels of metals is also a concern when it comes to other makeup products like foundation, blushes, eyeshadows, etc.?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, there's a Canadian study that showed 96% of almost all eyeliners, mascaras, bronzers, for example, have lead, 96%. We also have tested independently here in New York City some of my patients' products, and clearly there are very, very high levels of lead, but also aluminum, arsenic, in almost all mascaras and rouges and eyeliner, etc.
Okay, so this has me nervous. Let's say I want to purge my makeup drawer of potentially toxic makeup. When I go through my makeup, what should I be looking for?
Well, you know, you should probably look for the words organic or natural sources, but it's a difficult process. So you almost have to assume no matter what you have in your drawers and your bags is probably contaminated with some of these metals. What I would strongly recommend for people to do is to check either websites. They can go to my salernocenter.com. We have references to a multitude of sources where you can buy makeup which is lead and heavy metal free. There are also department stores like here in New York City, like Saks, which have now devoted some of their counters to organic natural makeups that do have lead free and heavy metal free.
Dr. Salerno, are there particular products and brands that you would recommend?
You know, there's a few. Again, if you get to my website, there are some good sources. But in Saks, for example, here in New York and in Bloomingdale's, there's a department devoted with probably 4 or 5 different manufacturers that are lead-free and heavy metal-free.
All right, Dr. John Salerno, thanks for being with us, and thank you for the great advice.
Oh, you're welcome. My pleasure. Thank you, Kathleen. Have a good day.
And you as well. And thank you for watching Newsmax Health.